Where are you going? We haven't even started.
Hello and welcome back to the Punchlines and Plot Twist podcast. I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm the co-host, Slim.
And today we are going to be getting into our UFC Atlanta Fight Night breakdown going on June 14th in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley for the welterweight division. It's going to be a great night. There's a lot of really, really good cards and matchups on this fight night. I'm very excited. We're going to start off with a card that isn't official yet, but the contract has been signed.
It's official to me. I saw him post about it on Instagram. We are talking about Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Mutino.
Absolutely.
And I did see the other day, it was two days ago I sent that to you.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 days ago, Malcolm Wellmaker posted on Instagram that he has his contract signed and that he'll see us in Atlanta. So it's pretty much confirmed. We just don't know where it's going to sit on the card. So we are reading this one first. It is a bantamweight matchup. Malcolm Wellmaker, it is a short notice fight too. I think he took this, it was less than 2 weeks, I think. So it was a couple days ago. That's next week. Yeah, so less than 2 weeks notice on this fight. He is 31 years old, has a 71.5 inch reach. He's been fighting pro since 2022. He has 5 wins by knockout and 2 by submission. He has 5 first round finishes, and he is coming into this fight after knocking out Cameron Simon in the first round, just showing off his brutal power, sending him flying to the left of my screen.
Made me some money.
Made me jump out of my seat. That was crazy when it happened. I never thought a human body could move like that. Because he hit him and he literally just stiff as a plank, kind of like flew to the left.
It was brutal.
Yeah, that was his debut UFC fight. So his professional record is 9-0, and he is 1-0 in the UFC so far. And he's fighting Chris Mutino, and he's making his return to the UFC. He had two previous UFC fights.
Yes.
And one of them, he lost by knockout in both fights. One of them was to Sugar Sean, though. Don't really know if I can hold that against him because I just watched this fight like 30 minutes ago again, or for the first time, I guess, and he stood there and ate everything. Sean was not missing, and he was hitting him as hard as he could. So, this dude has a chin. Should be a banger fight. We're just watching, what is it? The unstoppable force against the immovable object.
Mm-hmm.
That's this fight in my head. But he is 32 years old. He has a 68 inch reach. He has a professional record of 9-6 and a UFC record of 0-2. He has 3 wins by knockout, 1 by submission, and 5 wins by decision. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, so Chris Mutino versus Sugar Sean O'Malley was the first Sugar Sean O'Malley fight I remember watching live. And I just remember thinking how durable this guy was and how much of a beating he was able to take over and over and over again. It was kind of a questionable stoppage. When you see this guy's record, you think he's just gotten knocked out cold. These aren't cold knockouts. This are standing TKOs because he's just getting beat up and he isn't responding quite enough. And the ref steps in. But this guy has an incredible chin. He has a wrestling background. And he can counter fairly well. He can put some heat back a little bit. But
he puts a lot of pressure. He's got such a good chin that he is always putting pressure on you, even if he's the one losing. And that's what happened in the Sean O'Malley fight. He was getting hit by everything Sean O'Malley was throwing at him. everything at like full power too, and he just kept walking towards him.
Yeah.
Which could be a problem.
Absolutely, especially against a guy like Malcolm Wellmaker, who initially I didn't know much about him. Come fight week, I get talked into him. I become very high on him. I do some more research. I figure out more about this guy.
Boy, was I wrong.
And I ride hard on him come fight night against Cameron Simon. I take him in the first round by KO, and that's exactly what I got that night. It was incredible. I am so glad I bought in on this guy. This guy is going to be a problem in this division, and I think he's going to go very far. He has that journeyman license to fall back on, but I don't think he's going to need it.
No.
This guy is winning by a probably standing TKO, probably somewhat questionable stoppage, but nonetheless, he's going to beat the shit out of Chris Mutino the entire fight. And
I think Wellmaker can just put him out.
You think Wellmaker can just...
I agree
straight
with
put him
you.
out?
I think that Wellmaker's going to win. I think it's going to be by knockout. And I'm going to take it fairly early. I think I'm going to go second round knockout.
Yeah.
Because Wellmaker, from the film that I saw, and I watched my pick go to shit on live, so, which I'm not mad about. This dude is, like you said, a huge problem. I haven't seen a bantamweight just killing people like this in a long time. That kid's got power. I know Sean O'Malley does too. I don't know. My gut's telling me he's just going to get flatlined in this fight. Especially a short notice fight. Dude making his return to the UFC versus a dude that's establishing himself right now in the UFC. I feel like it's an important fight for Wellmaker, and he's going to show out for it.
Well, he's trying to reestablish himself.
I'm talking about Wellmaker establishing himself.
Got you. I got you. Yeah. I was going to say.
Because that would make his one knockout win look a lot less impressive to me if he went on to lose to Chris Mutino.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I don't think he's losing to Chris Mutino.
That's what I'm saying. I think he knows that, and he's going to come out and kind of prove a point with this fight and be like, and he's in Atlanta, because after he did it, he's like, yo, Dana, let me fight in Atlanta. Yeah. So it's kind of cool we got to see that.
Well, and I think it's possible, for sure, for him to put him out cold. It's just Chris Mutino's chin is so proven, man. He's just ridiculous. So ridiculous. He's taken some of the nastiest shots and just kept moving forward with them. Like, man.
Yeah, but
it's just hard for me to see the out cold knockout because of how strong Mutino's chin is.
Yeah.
But Wellmaker, this is his fight regardless, hands down.
Yeah.
Our next fight is our first women's flyweight bout of the night. It is Teresa Belita versus Jamie Lynn Horth. Teresa Belita is 23 years old and has a 71-inch reach. She lands 3 significant strikes per minute and lands at 71% accuracy. She averages 1.8 takedown per fight with 27% accuracy. She attempts 0.7 submissions per fight and has a pro record of 7-1 and a UFC record of 1-1. Jamie Lynn Horth is 35 years old, has a 68-inch reach, and lands at 2.72 significant strikes per minute and has an accuracy of 36%. She attempts a quarter of a submission per fight and has a pro record of 7-2 with a UFC record of 2-2. Teresa Belita has okay hands. She will mix up kicks and punches, but she only really uses them to set up a takedown. She's got pretty good takedowns, good wrestling. She will wrestle fuck you to decision almost every time if she can, but she does hunt for a submission. She's just not super great at finishing those submissions.
Yeah.
She does have an active ground and pound, but I think she is a little chinny, but durable and tough nonetheless, and she may have some gas tank issues. Where Jamie Lynn Horth is a pretty good striker, but likes to fight at range. She mixes it up really well with kicks, punches, elbows, and knees. She's got pretty good defensive striking as well. She lands pretty good takedowns. She's got good takedown defense. She's comfortable off her back and has good defensive wrestling and can do some pretty decent ground and pound. She's good in the clinch. She's very tough, and she will steal rounds to keep it competitive in every fight, no matter how bad she is losing. In this fight, big surprise. I think this is going to decision. And I think it's probably going to be a Jamie Lynn Horth decision. I think Bleeda is very good, but I think she still has some room to grow, especially in her striking department. And with Horth keeping her at range and kind of holding her off with her striking, I think it's going to be hard for Bleeda to rush in and get those takedowns. And even once she gets those takedowns, I think she's really just going to be able to do top pressure, and that's about it. And Horth is going to be actively scrambling, trying to get back to her feet pretty regularly. It's going to be a close fight, but I lean towards Horth by decision for this one. What are you thinking, buddy?
Oh, that's a rough one. I'm personally taking Bleda, though. Decision. Just the other way. I can see the exact same thing playing out. I just feel like Bleda might be able to control the fight on the ground. That's a rough one, but I'm going to stick with Bleda. I'm locking it in.
Fair enough.
If I think about it too much, I'm going to make it
if
way
Bleeda can,
too complicated.
If Bleeda can get her takedowns going early and keep her on the mat and keep Horth on the mat and smother her in the fight,
I think Bleda wins that.
I think Bleda wins that fight.
I just don't know if it's going to happen. I'm kind of fairly-ish confident,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stick with Bleda. But you can quote me on this. I could most definitely be wrong on that one. That's a iffy one.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe just take the decision overall.
Yeah, fight goes
decision.
to this, or over 2.5.
Yep.
Those would be good too. All right, we got. Oh boy, I didn't scroll too far, did I? All right, we got Ricky Simon and Charles Jourdain, another bantamweight matchup. Ricky Simon is 32 years old, and he has a 69-inch reach. He lands just under 3 significant strikes per minute and lands at 50%. He averages 5.1 takedowns per fight and has an accuracy of 44%. He averages 0.3 submission attempts per fight as well, so not that many. He has a pro record of 21-6 and a UFC record of 9-5. Charles Jourdain is 29 years old and has a reach of 69 inches. He lands 5.4 significant strikes per minute, and he lands at 54%. He averages 0.3 takedowns per fight and has a 21% accuracy, and he attempts 0.6 submissions per fight, and he has a pro record of 16-8-1 and a UFC record of 7-7-1. I think that Ricky Simon is a pretty good striker. He's got a good gas tank, and he's pretty good about keeping pressure from what I've seen. He's really good about mixing in his takedowns too, like actually mixing the martial arts. And I feel like that's going to be the biggest problem for Jourdain, because in this fight, I have no faith that Jourdain's going to be able to get his wrestling in the mix against Ricky Simon. I think Ricky Simon out-wrestles him if this goes to the mat a lot, which Ricky Simon does shoot a fair amount of takedowns, has a good takedown accuracy. I'm picking Ricky Simon by decision.
I don't hate it. I think Ricky Simon is a good striker with good combos. He's a really good counter puncher and has good power with his punches. But he absorbs a lot of damage, although he is very tough and seems to eat that damage fairly well. He shoots a ton of takedowns and lands a decent amount of them. He's got good takedown defense, and he's good in the scramble. He's got good top pressure, and he's got a good gas tank and will keep it competitive. But he does have a habit of swinging a little wildly and leaving his chin available.
That is true.
And against a guy like Charles Jourdain, who is a good active striker with quick hands, he puts combos together really well. He can be really creative with his striking. He's got good defense and movement, but also absorbs a decent amount of shots as well. But every single punch and kick and any strike he throws has good power behind it and is coming with some heat. He's got decent takedowns of his own. He's got good takedown defense, though. He seems to be able to survive most people on the mat. And when he is against lower level wrestlers, he can be aggressive with his submission attempts and can hunt for a submission from time to time. He's got a pretty good chin, but he has been KO'd once. And he's got a good gas tank.
Who knocked him out?
Jean Lord Silva. So
There
I
you
cannot
go.
hold that against him either.
Not
'cause
really.
Jean Silva is the guy who I think has the most power in the bantamweight division in his hands.
He's not in bantamweight. He's a featherweight.
Featherweight, sorry. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think Jourdain moved down
Jourdain
after
moved.
the fight.
You're right.
Yeah.
But Jean Silva's got wild power. So
Yeah, you can't hold that.
I don't
against him.
think Ricky Simone is going to have
And-
close to that power.
especially at bantamweight.
Yep.
So, and he's not even close normally, I don't think.
Yeah.
So,
I can definitely see a path where Simone can win this fight. I think it's primarily on the mat, though. What worries me is how wildly he can swing and how open he leaves his chin. And with how active and how fast of a striker Jourdain is, I think Jourdain's going to find that chin. And I think he probably knocks him out in probably the second round, is what I'm feeling for this one. But again, I do see a path for Simon to win by decision here. But I think ultimately Jourdain's going to find that chin and
yeah.
put him out.
I'm pulling up what the odds are. Oh, they don't have odds for him right now.
Jourdain is the underdog. Yeah, because Ricky Simon is minus 175. Jourdain is plus 145.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, and it could definitely happen that way too. I definitely think Ricky Simon's taking this one. I don't think he's knocking him out though. I'm still sticking with the win by decision.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like his wrestling is going to work, and I feel like it's going to be a mat-heavy match.
Yeah, I mean, they're tight odds, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is a close fight. Him leaving his chin out like that scares me. And guy like Jourdain, he can find that sweet spot and put it down. But if he does not find that, I definitely think Simone is winning a decision in this fight. So maybe take the double chance, Jourdain knockout, Simone decision.
You could.
I think that's a fairly safe bet for that one. Moving on to our next fight, we have Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa in the flyweight division. Cody Durden is 34 years old, has a 67-inch reach. He lands 35 significant strikes per minute at 51% accuracy. He averages 4 takedowns per fight.
What happened?
At 47%? At 47% accuracy. He averages 3/4 of a submission per fight and has a professional record of 17-7-1. He has a UFC record of 6-5-1. Jose Ochoa is 24 years old, 245 years old is what it said, but 24 years old and has a 67-inch reach. He lands at 33 significant strikes per minute and at 35% accuracy. He attempts 1 submission per fight and has a pro record of 7-1 and a UFC record of 0-1. I think Cody Durden has slightly underrated striking, especially his counters. He's got good uppercuts and a dirty right hand. He's got fast and powerful combos, decent defense, but does absorb a good amount of shots. He can put combinations together and work in close. He's good in the clinch and has pretty good takedowns, good takedown defense, and on the mat, he's slippery and is a submission hunter. He can get carried away chasing a finish and gas out if he doesn't get it, but he is still very tough and has a very good gas tank. Ochoa is a pretty good striker that can mix it up well. He mixes in his kicks and his knees pretty well. He's actually pretty good in the clinch and loves his Muay Thai knees. He swings hard and a bit wild at times as well. He can get caught with his hands down, but he's very fast and quick to counter. He's got an active ground and pound game. He seems to be pretty good defensive wrestler and have be pretty good in the scramble. He's a real threat on your if he gets to your back, and he has some sub potential as well. I think this fight's Cody Durden. I'm not sure exactly how this one goes. I think a Durden submission is live here. I think a Durden decision is live here. But I also could see an Ochoa submission here. And I don't think I see an Ochoa decision here. I think Durden's going to be the dominant. He's more experienced. He's been here before. He's got good striking, and he's got a great ground game. Where Ochoa's, I think, going to be a little outclassed on the feet. I think he can keep it competitive on the mat, and if he gets his back, that's always going to be a problem. But I think Durden's going to be slippery enough to keep him off and keep him down. Are you disagreeing with me on this one too?
100%.
Damn.
Jose Ochoa is going, and I agree with what you said. People do sleep on Durden's striking. I'll give you that. He is good on the feet. Don't sleep on Durden. He's a good fighter.
His counters are so nasty, bro.
Yeah. But Jose Ochoa, I think, is going to lock in that knockout, dude.
Really?
I think he's going to lock in that knockout. He's got 6 wins by knockout, 1 by submission, 4 first-round finishes.
Cody Durden's only been knocked out once, and it was by Bruno Silva.
I think he might be able to do it. I'm taking Ochoa overall. I think it might be a knockout, though. Couldn't tell you what round. I can't get specific with this one, but I'm feeling an Ochoa knockout in this fight.
By knees? Or by punch? What are you thinking? Punches, elbows, ground and pound, kick?
Whatever he wants to.
Really?
Standing?
You're that confident in Ochoa's striking?
Probably standing.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see Ochoa being able to put out Cody Durden, but I could be wrong. Because, yeah, he fought Kavanaugh in...
Yeah, and he lost unanimous decision.
Which I like Kavanaugh. I think he's good.
Yeah, he got his loss, though. He was undefeated.
That was his UFC debut.
He's going to bounce back, dude.
It makes me worried, though, dude. Losing your UFC debut and not being a loss to a super high quality opponent at the time, that makes me nervous, you know. And especially against a guy who is as experienced and proven as Cody Durden. Granted, he's lost his fair amount, but I think Cody Durden can keep this one his way overall.
All right. You're wrong. Moving on, we got Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Michael Chiesa is 37. This is a welterweight matchup, by the way. But Michael Chiesa is 37 years old. He has a 75-inch reach. He lands 1.8 significant strikes per match at 56%. He averages 3.3 takedowns per fight. His takedown accuracy is 48%. And he averages 1 submission per fight. He has a professional record of 20-7 and a UFC record. Oh boy, did I delete it? Looks like I accidentally deleted it. Give me a second. It should be 12 and something. So, doing some math, 12 and 7. He's 12 and 7 in the UFC. He has a UFC record of 12-7. All right. Court McGee is 40 years old. He has a 75-inch reach. He lands 4.6 significant strikes per minute and lands at 45%. He averages 1.9 takedowns per fight at 26% and averages 0.5 submissions per fight. He also has a professional record of 23-13, and he has a UFC record of 10-12. I like McGee. I think he does put like a good amount of pressure on his opponents during the fights. And he's got decent like takedowns and takedown accuracy. He's like a well-rounded fighter in my opinion, but I don't think he's that great. But I really do like Michael Chiesa. He's a very like technical fighter. Every time I think about this fight, I can't even justify McGee winning, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to put it into words. I just know Michael Chiesa is gonna win by whatever he wants to. I don't think McGee's winning this one at all. It's Michael Chisea's fight, however which way Chisea wants it to go. If he wants to drag him to decision, I think Chisea can win a decision. If he wants to knock him out, I think Chisea can knock him out. And if he wants to out-wrestle him, I think Chisea could probably do that too. So, overall I have Chisea. Are you going to disagree? I haven't seen
No, I'm not.
Okay, you got Chisea too.
I'm not going to. Yeah, I got Chisea. Chisea is a McGregor-like long, wide stance southpaw. He can fight in quick bursts, but occasionally can put long combinations together. He can counter pretty well, and he has good movement and defense. He is very durable and can eat some heavy shots. He's got a pretty good clinch game and can be pretty active. However, his bread and butter is his ground game. He's got aggressive takedowns and good takedown defense to go with it. Once he gets you to the ground, he works to your back and then will get your neck and will hunt for submission every single time. He has a good scramble and can chain wrestle well. He may have the worst Darce choke defense in the UFC, though. However, he's been submitted 3 times with the Darce choke.
I can't justify that one.
Court McGee, though, is a come-forward fighter with a pretty well-rounded game. He mixes it up well and can put some good combinations together. In the clinch, he is either active or making himself heavy to weigh on you. He's got decent takedowns and good takedown defense. He's good in the scramble and has good submission defense. He has a good gas tank, but he is very tough, but he is chinny. And I think that's the way Michael Chiesa is going to have to go in this fight. Court McGee has lost a lot of fights, and he has lost a lot of different ways. By submission is not one of those. This guy stays ridiculously calm no matter how tight you are around his neck, and will just find a way to slide himself out and stay alive. He won't win those fights, but he will stay alive in those fights. So I think if Chiesa wants to finish this fight, it's going to be on the feet. But if it's not on the feet, go.
Stop, dude.
Where was I?
If he wants to stay on the feet.
Okay, so if Chiesa wants to finish McGee, it's going to have to be on the feet. It's not going to be on the mat. I think McGee is just going to get smothered. He will definitely be smothered and be losing the fight, but I don't think he's going to be able to finish him, so it's going to be on the feet. So I'm going to take Chiesa by knockout or decision on this one, and not much else to that one. I think it's Chiesa. I think Court McGee has had his time in the UFC, and I think that time is coming to a close, especially at 40. Chiesa's not much younger at 37, but I think Chiesa definitely has more fight life left in him than McGee does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that fight will be followed up by a fight that was...
Featured prelim.
Oh, it is our featured prelim.
Yeah. And before you say anything, let me read the first part of the bio. This fight was rescheduled after Bellato found out he had herpes all over his body, allegedly. Yeah.
Rodolfo Bellato is 29 years old, has a 77-inch reach. He lands 6.2 significant strikes per minute at 63%, and he averages 1 takedown per fight at 30%. He has a professional record of 12-2-1, and he is 1-0-1 in the UFC. Paul Craig is 37 years old and has a 76-inch reach. He lands at 25 significant strikes per minute and
2.5. Sorry.
2.5 significant strikes per minute at 55% accuracy. He averages 15 takedowns per fight and has 20% accuracy. He also attempts 1.5 submissions per fight. Probably
1.5 takedowns.
1.5 takedowns per fight.
That's my bad. I don't know why I forgot the little dots and everything. Gosh. My bad.
Uh, 1.5 takedowns per fight, and Paul Craig is a wrestler. He's 37, and he's set. What's his record? 17-9-1, and a UFC record of 9-1-1.
Yes.
Oh, man, I hate when you do the voice to text notes.
It's spelled out correctly. It's got the comma, 9, 9, and 1.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we've previously broken down this fight, which I don't know why you didn't just steal the breakdown from that fight and paste it over.
I could have.
But we both were riding. I think we both were on Bellato, correct? I know I was. Were you on?
I was kind of in between. I think I was leaning Bellato, but it's Paul Craig, the Bear Jew. You can't really ever count him out.
Mm-hmm.
You can count him out, but he's the dude that'll kind of like come out of nowhere and get a finish or win a decision.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was previously very high on Bellato and thought he was going to win this fight by KO. It was going to be over round 2, easy dub.
But then we found out he has herpes.
And I don't know why that affects
Gross.
it. I don't know why that affects my pick. But him just pulling out, the moment he pulled out, my pick just flipped to Paul Craig's submission. I don't have much logic or actual reasoning behind it. That's just what my gut's telling me, so that's what I'm going to ride with. So it's going to be Craig's submission.
That's what's going to happen.
I'm also still going to sprinkle that Bellato round 2 KO just because that's what I was feeling previously. And if that ends up happening and I don't have money on it, I'm going to be pissed. So, yeah, I got Paul Craig by submission.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm just going to take the Paul Craig money line.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's the same thing. I don't know why it affected the outcome of that fight, but we both flipped on it and we're like, dude, I think Paul Craig's going to win now that he pulled out.
And also because it's now another weight cut that Bellato has to make, and he's not a small guy, so that can take a toll on you, especially back-to-back kind of like this. And
it's not ideal for Bellato.
Yeah.
But it's ideal for Paul Craig.
Absolutely.
Because I guarantee you he just extended his camp by like the 2-3 weeks, and he's going to be in even better shape than he was when the first fight was going to happen.
I agree.
All right, so this is the first fight on the main card. We got Juicebox, right? Juicebox Alonzo Menafield? Yeah. And Omar Sy. Alonzo Menafield is 37 years old. He has a 76-inch reach. He lands 4 significant strikes per minute at 61%. He averages 5 takedowns per fight at 31% and has a professional record of 16-5-1. He has a UFC record of 9-5-1. And he is fighting Omar Sy, who is 29 years old, has an 83-inch reach. He lands 4.8 significant strikes per minute at 58%. He averages 3.2 takedowns per match at 40% accuracy. He averages 0.8 submissions per fight and has a professional record of 11-0. He has 2 fights in the UFC. One was a first-round submission against Tuco Tokos, and then a unanimous decision win over Jung. I think that Menifield, I love Menifield. He's been here for a long time. He's literally like the top 15 gatekeeper, in my opinion, for light heavyweight, pretty much. Like that, from the top 10 to the top 15, he's always there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's making it out of this one. I think Sai's going to get him.
I'm going to disagree with you again.
Go.
I think Alonzo Benefield, he is a very well-rounded fighter that can bring the pressure and fight at range. He puts volume out there and mixes it up really well. He has good counters that are fast and powerful. He has good movement and pretty good defense, but still absorbs a lot. He is very tough and has a chin. His most recent was a TKO loss, or all of his TKO losses were to valid guys, and they were all TKO losses, not KO losses. He's got a good clinch and works in it with his knees. He has okay takedowns, but some good takedown defense. He has good defensive wrestling and can hunt for a sub if he gets in top position. Omar Sy is also a very well-rounded guy. He is a come forward and pressure kind of fighter, and he's a real threat early in fights, but he can still look good later in his fights. He's got quick hands and can mix it up. He's got good clinch work and likes to shoot takedowns. On the mat, he's got good ground and pound and is a submission threat. He seems to have a good chin and a gas tank so far, but he is still relatively unproven, and that is going to be why I just slightly lean Menifield in this fight. I do not think it is impossible by any means that Omar Sy wins this fight. I think Sy he has a lot more to prove to me before I'm ready to take money on him against a guy like Alonzo Menifield, especially at a minus 575 price tag.
Yeah.
It's just another one that gives me kind of bad vibes. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, and I think Sy should probably take this, but he's just so unproven, and at a price tag like that, I'm going with the guy I know and the guy I trust. And I think that he's well-rounded enough to stay alive against Sy and probably give him some good competition, even on, if not on the feet, on the mat for sure.
No, I agree. I definitely see where you're coming from. I just feel like it's Omar Sy's time. I think he's coming up. I feel like he will get a challenge, and I don't think he's going to stay undefeated, but I don't think Alonzo Menifield's going to be the one to stop him.
That's another thing. Undefeated contender coming up in 2025.
Nah.
Heavily favorited.
Screw the curse, dude. It don't matter.
That fight will be followed up with a middleweight bout between Mansour Abdul Malik and Cody Brundage. Mansour Abdul Malik is 27 years old and has a 79.5-inch reach. He lands at 5.3 significant strikes per minute at 56% accuracy. He averages 0.75 takedowns at 33% accuracy. He has a professional record of 8-0 and has finished all 8 of his fights, 7 by knockout and 1 by submission. He is on a 5-fight knock by knockout streak. He is 2-0 in the UFC and has also never seen a third round. Cody Brundage is 31 years old with a 72-inch reach. He lands at 2.14 significant strikes per minute and at 67%. He averages 2 takedowns per fight and has an accuracy of 47%. He also averages 0.9 submission attempts per match and has a professional record of 11-6. He has a UFC record of 5 5-1.
Well, I saw your pick already.
Yeah.
Scrolling through our notes,
It's-
and I agree.
This is an easy Malik knockout win for me. I think Cody Brundage is a good fighter, and his ground game is going to be a real threat to Malik if he can get it there. But getting there is going to be a problem, in my opinion. This guy's been knocked out by Olajekishek and who is the other one? William Knight, which are both. I don't know much about William Knight, but Olajekishek is a guy with good power and good hands, which is exactly what I think Malik is. And I think it's going to be a pretty substantial domination from Malik. Unless Brundage can get his ground game going, I think he can drag this fight out a little bit. But they go back on the feet at the beginning of every round, and that's an opportunity for Malik to knock him out every single time. It's just a matter of when, not if, in my mind, for this fight.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. I don't. Cody Brundage is, like you said, a pretty good striker, and he's got decent power. He keeps some pressure. I don't see it having, like, everything that Cody Brundage does on the feet well, I don't feel is going to do anything for him against Malik on the feet.
Yeah.
I think Malik is levels above him, and I feel like he's going to just fireworks of a knockout on Cody Brundage.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's good matchup, but kind of feel bad for Brundage. Well, moving on. We got Cody Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. Bantamweight match. This is bantamweight heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a bantamweight matchup. Garbrandt is 33 years old. He has a 65-inch reach. He lands 3 significant strikes per minute at 42%. He averages 1 takedown a match at 34. Cody Garbrandt is 33 years old with a 65-inch reach. He lands 3 significant strikes per minute at 42%. He averages 1 takedown a match at 34%, and he has a professional record of 14-6. He has a UFC record of 9-6. Raoni Barcelos is 38 years old, has a 67-inch reach. He lands 5 significant strikes per minute and has a 57% accuracy. He averages 2.5 takedowns per fight at 37%. His professional record is 19-5, and his UFC record is 7-4. And Garbrandt he's a high-level striker. He's got really good defense. He might be a little bit chinny now.
Former bantamweight champion.
Yeah. He never defended it, which kind of sucked, because when Garbrandt was on the rise, dude, those were some fun fights to watch. And then
TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, roided up TJ Dillashaw, too. TJ Dillashaw had to take roids to beat my boy Garbrandt. Because that's who he fought for the belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, and Garbrandt lost both times, huh?
Knocked him out twice.
Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, Garbrandt might be a little bit chinny now, too. But if Barcelos is all natty this fight, he might be good.
Garbrandt is not chinny. Dude,
he can be. He can be chinny.
He's been knocked out 4 times total. He's been knocked out by
TJ
Dillashaw twice. Pedro Muniz was another one, and Kai Kara France was the 4th one.
Yeah, well, I don't
think... Those
think...
are all valid knockouts. Can't hold any of those against him.
Yeah, I know. Just let me get to my pick. My bad. I'm just saying Thank you, though. He's not chinny, but he can be chinny. Is what I was trying. Yeah, he can be chinned.
There you go.
He doesn't have, like, an incredible chin, but it's damn good.
Yes, I would agree with that.
He can be knocked out. It has happened before. They've all been valid. Raoni Barcelos is not going to be the 5th one, because I'm taking Cody Garbrandt by knockout.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think
Cody Garbrandt's going to hit that flow state again and put his hands down.
Yeah. I mean, Cody Garbrandt is a very high level striker. That's what got him to the belt. He is always a threat on the feet. He has wildly fast hands and powerful leg kicks with good precision. He has great counters and can put combinations together really well. He is very tough, but has been KO'd before, also in my notes. His wrestling is good, but he doesn't really use it if he doesn't have to. He's got good takedowns and takedown defense against most, and good defensive wrestling. He can switch to top position when he needs to, and he is wildly hard to submit. Rioni Barcelos is a very well-rounded fighter. He is high volume with his striking and mixes it up well. He can put together long combinations and has pretty good clinch work and takedowns. He can smother you with top position and work to mount and rain down his ground and pound. He seems to have a pretty good chin, but he has been hurt very badly in the past. In this fight, I'm not picking a side. I would probably lean towards Garbrandt, but I'm just taking violence for this fight. I don't think this fight goes to decision. I think they are going to be beating the ever-living shit out of each other this entire fight, and one of them will eventually drop. And I think it's probably going to be Barcelos, but I'm not willing to bet that it is 100%, so I'm just taking violence bet on this one.
I think Garbrandt's striking is much better than Barcelos. And I'm not 100% convinced Barcelos could smother him on the mat. At least, wrestle fuck him to a decision. I know Cody Garbrandt is at least good enough to get back to the feet and continue just pummeling this guy. That's how I see it playing out.
Yeah. Cody Garbrandt is currently the plus 125 dog to the minus 150 favorite of
Dog
Ronnie
of the week,
Barcelos.
locking it in. Cody Garbrandt.
Moving into the next fight, it's a middleweight bout between Edmen Shahbazyan and Andre Petroski. This is a fight I'm very excited for. Edmen Shahbazyan is 27 years old and has a 75-inch reach. He lands at 3.8 significant strikes per minute and averages 2 takedowns per match. He has a significant strike accuracy of 52% and a takedown accuracy of 38%. He has a professional record of 14-5. In the UFC, a record of 6-5. Andre Petroski is 33 years old and has 73-inch reach. He lands at 2.9 significant strikes per minute at 57% accuracy. He averages 3.4 takedowns per fight and has a takedown accuracy of 55%. He also averages 1.5 significant attempts or submission attempts per match. He has a professional record of 13-4 and a UFC record of 8-2. Andre Petroski is a pretty good striker who can counter fairly well and has good movement. It really only uses his striking to set up takedowns, which are frequent and aggressive, though. Once he gets you on the mat, he will wrestle fuck you and try for a sub. If that doesn't work, he has a decent ground and pound game and has good takedown defense of his own. He is tough, but he might be a little chinny, and he has a good gas tank. Shahbazyan, on the other hand, is a very good striker with wildly fast hands and kicks.
His kicks are nice.
He counters wildly well, and he keeps good pressure in the clinch. He stays active. He has pretty good takedowns and good takedown defense. He seems to have enough grappling to stay alive against most people, but I don't think that's going to matter a whole bunch in this fight because I think Shahbazyan is going to knock out Petroski in probably pretty early in significant fashion. If not, he's going to beat the shit out of him and then win a dominant decision. And that's really the only way I see this fight going. Shahbazyan's a minus 200 favorite to the plus 170 dog of Petroski. I think those odds can widen even further because I think Shahbazyan is...
I think Petroski's wrestling might have a big effect on this fight, though, too. I agree with you. I'm just saying the only thing I'm worried about is the wrestling.
I think Shahbazyan's got good enough wrestling that it's not... He can keep it to be a large non-factor.
Yeah.
Maybe Petrosky will steal around with his wrestling, but the other two are going to be
I can
Shabazi.
totally see him getting just absolutely clipped and then the instant takedown afterwards. So, I mean, if he's getting beat up bad enough, which I'm sure he will, I'm sure he will try to do everything he can to make the fight play out on the mat. And from there, it's kind of hard to pick, but I'm still leaning towards Shabazian.
Good, you should be. Should lean harder.
No, it's a good pick. I'm still with it. I didn't think Alex Pereira was gonna get wrestle fucked. I didn't think
That's a
Sean
good point.
O'Malley the first point was gonna get wrestle fucked. I gotta pay more attention to the grappling. You know.
Yep. No, for sure.
That's what gets me. But
I try and pay attention to everything all the way around to get up.
I do
Big
too,
picture.
but I underestimate some fighters' grappling abilities sometimes, and I'm like, oh, that's not gonna happen, and then it's just it works
Yeah.
still. Like it
Yep. No, for sure. And it's a fight. Anything can happen.
exactly. But I'm still Shabazian. The dude's got bricks for hands, so
Yeah. He's so fast.
I'm sure he's just gonna knock him out. My bet's probably second round. Co-main event though, we got number 7 ranked Rose Namajunas and number 11 ranked Miranda Maverick for the women's flyweight division.
Hell yeah.
This should be a really good fight too.
Yes, it should.
So Rose Namajunas is 32 years old. She has a 65-inch reach. She lands 3.7 significant strikes per minute and lands at 45%. She averages 1.5 takedowns per fight, and she has a takedown accuracy of 50%. She has a pro record of 14-7 and a UFC record of 11-5. Miranda Maverick is 27, and she has a 65-inch reach. She lands 3.3 significant strikes per minute at 57%. She averages 2.4 takedowns a fight and has an accuracy of 41%. She has a professional record of 17-5 and a UFC record of 8-3. And I gotta give props to Rose Namajunas because she's known as a great women's striker, and she's got like power and the speed. Like she's always been a top flyweight contender. She's just known
Former
for,
belt holder as well.
yeah, she's known for throwing hands. And she always, in my opinion, puts on pretty exciting fights. I'm excited to see this one. But I do think Miranda Maverick is going to take this one. She's very, trying to think of the word, aggressive. And Namajunas can be at times too. So I'm just excited to see how they clash on the feet. I'm more worried about Maverick's grappling though, which might be a wild fucking pick. I feel like gonna be some wrestling in here, but overall I have Maverick.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of respect for Rose Namajunas. She's been.
I hate fading her like that too. It feels so weird saying that. I'm taking Maverick.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for her. She's been the world champion. She's been at the top of women's MMA for a very long time. She has,
And I think she'll still be there for a long time after this too.
yeah, she's got great striking. She's, like you said, she's got great power. She's got great speed. She counters really, really well, and she can put a high volume out there when she wants to. She's got a good ground game. She's got good clinch work. She's got good takedowns, good takedown defense, good wrestling, and will hunt for a sub. She's durable, and she's got a good gas tank. But Miranda Maverick is an absolute unit in the cage. She's well-rounded. She has very good active striking, and she will come forward and make you feel the heat. She has good movement and defense as well. She has a good clinch game and good takedowns and takedown defense. She's got good top position and some very decent submission potential. She's very tough, and she's got a good gas tank. And I think, like we've talked about many times and time again, it's just a changing of the guard kind of thing. And Miranda Maverick is that new generation, I think, that's coming up to be the top of the women's MMA. And Rose Namajunas is on her very slow, very mild decline
She still
on
has the
her way.
potential to shoot back up instantly.
Yep.
And if she wins this fight,
I think it's a very good statement for where she's at in the division.
yeah.
And that she still very much so belongs very high in the division. But Miranda Maverick's just been coming in and kind of dominating everybody. She's not finishing everybody, but she's taking dominant, unanimous decisions from pretty high level opponents. She's lost to Jasmine Jasudavicius, which can't hold that against her because Jasmine's also a girl I'm very, very high on. But I agree with you. I think this is a Maverick fight. I think she probably wins this by decision. But Rose Namajunas is still very live in this fight. But I'm going with the dog. Miranda Maverick's gonna be my dog of the week.
I had to take her by submission or decision. Double chance Maverick.
Yep.
I can see it happening. I can see a submission. Which
sure.
which would be crazy over Namajunas too. Not saying it's like super live, but
I see the decision as the most.
Yeah, decision's most likely, but I got the gut feeling screaming there's a submission at me, so I got to take it.
Fair enough. And then that leads us into our main event, a fight I am very excited to see in the welterweight division. The number 5 Kamaru Usman taking on the number 7 Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman is one of my favorite former champions in the welterweight division. He is 36 years old. He has a 76-inch reach. He lands at 4.3 significant strikes per minute, and he has 64% accuracy with those strikes. He averages just under 3 takedowns per match and has a 45% accuracy with those takedowns. He has a professional record of 20-4, and he is coming into this fight off of a 3-fight losing streak to Leon Edwards twice to Leon Edwards and once to Khamzat Chimaev. He has a UFC record of 14-3. Joaquin Buckley is 31 years old and has a 76-inch reach. He lands at 4.2 significant strikes per minute at 40% accuracy. He lands 1.8 takedowns per fight and has a takedown accuracy of 45%. He has a professional record of 21-6 and a UFC record of 11-4. Usman is a guy I have a lot of respect for. He's one of the African kings. He's a guy who had a insane run in the UFC for a very long time. What was it? 14 wins straight, 14 fight win streak.
I think so.
Before he lost. But his knees are shot.
His knees are done. His knees are cooked.
And yeah, he's just, I think this is that, like we're saying it again, changing of the guard. Kamaru Usman's on the way out. He's establishing his podcast. I'm a listener of that guy. I love everything this guy's doing outside of the UFC, and I want him to continue to grow and develop there. But a guy like Joaquin Buckley, who's just an absolute monster all the way around, destroys people on the feet and can absolutely wrestle fuck you on the mat and submit you to there. I think this is going to be Buckley probably by KO. But I don't hate the decision prop, though, either, because Kamaru Usman is a very tough guy, and he hasn't been knocked out very often. I think he's only been knocked out the once.
It's going to happen again, dude. It's going to happen again.
But I'm taking Buckley, KO or decision.
I'm sorry. Like you said, I have a lot of respect for...
the one time. One time he's been knocked out, one time been submitted.
I still got Buckley, dude.
I do too.
Yeah, he's knocking him out cold. I have a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect for Usman, but we were just talking about Namajunas' like feather fall of a decline down the division like this. This dude's like a piano getting pushed off of a skyscraper. Like, he's going, in my opinion, like, his decline's going fast right now. But I would like to see him win. That would be really cool, too. I don't see it happening, though. I just see Buckley walking through him.
Buckley's coming for the belt.
Yeah, Buckley's walking through Usman. I'm sorry. Buckley is not losing this fight.
I tend to be in agreement with you. I just think that I give Usman the credit of being able to survive 5 rounds.
See,
though.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's the main event.
3
so it's
rounds
5
is
rounds.
something. 5 rounds.
5 rounds with Buckley, dude. That's
Buckley knockout is looking pretty live there for sure.
I know you forgot about it for a second
Yeah.
as soon as you said that.
Yeah, I did.
Because 3 rounds, I think Usman can survive.
Mm-hmm. 5 rounds, though.
That's a whole
iffy.
different pace in the fight.
Yeah.
So,
But if Usman comes back and just looks exactly how he used to look,
that'd
and
be fucking sick.
got brand new knees going and he's ready to rock and roll.
I've been having this terrible, terrible nightmare recently. Have you seen Khalil Rountree's knockout where he caves in that dude's knee?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Buckley might get the same thing, bro. Just like a nasty kick right on the knees just fucks him up. Because I'm genuinely worried about that dude's knee health.
Yeah.
Especially like if he gets put in like a knee bar submission.
Oh, I don't even want to put that out there. That's
Just taking leg kicks, trying to grapple, like
Mhm.
getting like, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it.
yeah, I don't either, for sure. I think this is Buckley's fight. I think it's Buckley's time. I think he's going to be challenging for gold very soon.
And after he wins this one, they need to match him up versus Ian Gary Machado for a title eliminator fight. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. But just match him up. I want to see Machado get flatlined. So does a lot of people. So
I'm very high on that.
yeah.
But all right, that wraps up today's recap for UFC Atlanta. We are going to get ready to watch UFC 316 Marab versus Sugar Sean tonight. We are very excited for that.
Sugar Sean by submission.
Sugar Sean by knockout.
By submission.
Knockout. But we're very excited to watch that fight night. We will have a recap out for you guys very soon on that one. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Be easy there.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us and just
Check out the Instagram and the Twitter. Wow. Instagram. It's got the link tree to our TikTok, Punchlines TikTok, Plot Twist TikTok, Punchlines and Plot Twist TikTok, UFC Twitter, Spotify,
and YouTube.
YouTube.
There we go. Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Let us know what you guys think of our picks. How are you guys feeling about these fights? Do you got Usman or you got Buckley? Let us know down in the comments below. We appreciate you hanging out. Our link tree is in the bio down below. Please go make sure to check out everything else that Slim just mentioned. But we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.